Right now in the South, someone's drinking hot chocolate on a beach while Christmas lights reflect off the ocean. 200 miles away, a train from the 1800s climbs through actual snow, and somewhere between those two places, you can walk through an underground cave lit up like something out of a fantasy movie. This is Christmas in the South, and these 10 places prove it's the best kept secret in America. Number 10. Helen, Georgia. Let's start somewhere ordinary. You're driving through a typical forest. Nothing remarkable. Then you round a corner and suddenly, you're in Bavaria. Cobblestone streets, Alpine-style buildings, and yes, a real Christmas market with vendors who actually come from Germany. Back in 1969, the town of Helen was struggling. The lumber industry collapsed, money was gone, and 3 locals had a wild idea. What if we just became a Bavarian village? They tried it, and somehow it worked. Now Helen is one of Georgia's most visited mountain towns, and at Christmas, it goes all in. There's a proper Christkindlmarkt with nutcrackers, bratwurst, and hot glühwein. Carolers sing in German and English, roasted chestnuts in the air. And because Helen sits high in the Blue Ridge Mountains, it actually snows. When the lights come on and snow falls on cobblestones, you forget you're in Georgia. Honestly, you forget you're in America. Number 9. Charleston, South Carolina. Look, Charleston is already beautiful year-round, but at Christmas, it turns into something else entirely. Here's what most people don't know. Charleston has been doing candlelight tours of historic homes since 1947, and these aren't replicas. You're walking through real 18th and 19th century mansions. The homes are decorated exactly how they would have been in the 1800s. Magnolia wreaths, real candles, greenery everywhere. Just warm light and period guides in costume, explaining how Christmas looked back then. It feels intimate, calm, and honestly, kinda magical. Then, just 15 minutes away, the mood shifts. James Island Festival of Lights hits you with 2 million lights and a 3-mile drive through glowing displays and trees wrapped so tightly, they look electric. Plus, Charleston has more restaurants per capita than New York City. So after your tour, you're eating she crab soup overlooking the harbor while boats covered in Christmas lights drift by. Number 8. Dollywood Smoky Mountain Christmas. I know what you're thinking. A theme park for Christmas? But stay with me, because this is the most joyful, over-the-top, not even trying to be subtle Christmas experience in America. And it's owned by Dolly Parton. So yes, it's extra. We're talking 5 million lights, 6 Broadway-quality Christmas shows every day, and a parade with snow machines and performers wearing costumes covered in tens of thousands of crystals. Then there's the food. Dolly's famous cinnamon bread. She says Elvis loved it, and I believe her. It somehow gets even wilder. Entire sections of the park are decorated as the 12 Days of Christmas. The parade of many colors rolls through twice a night. Giant floats, performers on stilts, snow falling while real snow dusts the Smoky Mountains behind you. It's spectacle, sure, but set in the mountains, it feels real. Number 7. St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah, I know, palm trees and beaches don't exactly scream Christmas. Except in St. Augustine, where it somehow works perfectly. It's the oldest continuously occupied European city in the U.S., founded in 1565. This place was doing Christmas before America was even a thing. Every December, the city hosts Night of Lights, over 3 million white lights wrapped around 144 blocks of the historic district. It started small in the 90s. Locals loved it, and now it's the biggest light display in the Southeast, running for 2 full months. 400-year-old Spanish stone buildings glow. The central plaza looks like it's made of stars. You ride in horse-drawn carriages down streets, while musicians play Spanish carols and bakeries sell fresh churros. No snow, no coats, just history, lights, and Christmas in flip-flops. Number 6. Biltmore Estate, Asheville. America's largest home, 250 rooms, 65 fireplaces, a full-on French chateau built in the 1890s, and at Christmas, it turns into the most extra holiday experience imaginable. Every major room gets its own theme. The massive banquet hall with a 70-foot ceiling holds a 35-foot tree covered in Victorian ornaments. The music room leans jazz age with 1920s Art Deco decor. This is Christmas as a billionaire. Completely ridiculous, totally over the top, and honestly, kinda perfect. Number 5. Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. This isn't a replica. It's not a theme park. This is Colonial Williamsburg, the actual 18th century capital of Virginia, preserved exactly as it was in the 1770s. At Christmas, the entire town steps back in time. No electricity, no plastic decorations, no inflatable Santas, just candlelight, fireplaces, and natural greenery. Walking down Duke of Gloucester Street feels unreal. Blacksmiths hammering metal, bakers making gingerbread from original 18th century recipes, musicians playing Christmas carols on harpsichords. Then comes the grand illumination on the first Sunday of December. At sunset, gas lamps are lit by hand. Suddenly, candles appear in every window, thousands of them all at once. The whole town glows. Fireworks follow, while fifes and drum corps march through playing joy to the world. Afterward, you end the night in a colonial tavern with roasted goose, Sally Lunn bread, and syllabub, basically colonial eggnog. Number 4. Natchitoches, Louisiana. First things first, it's pronounced Natchitoches, not whatever you were going to say. You're welcome. This is a 300-year-old French Creole town on the Cane River in central Louisiana, and somehow most people have never heard of it, which is wild because it hosts the oldest Christmas festival in America, running non-stop since 1927. Every December, they line both sides of the river with 300,000 lights. The best part? Those lights reflect perfectly in the water, so it looks like twice the magic. Fireworks kick things off, and then the town glows for 6 straight weeks. But this is Louisiana, so Christmas comes with a Cajun Creole twist. You'll find legendary Natchitoches meat pies, beignets covered in powdered sugar, gumbo, and boudin balls. Basically, Christmas calorie done right. Quiet, historic, delicious, and glowing. Natchitoches proves the best Christmas towns are the ones most people haven't found yet. If you're already planning a trip based on what you've seen, hit that subscribe button right now. We drop videos like this every week. Places you didn't know existed. Experiences you'll remember forever. Now, let's get back to the countdown. Number 3. Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is already one of the most romantic cities in America. Moss-draped oaks, cobblestone streets, grand old mansions. But at Christmas, Savannah levels up. This is proposal energy. The city was designed with 22 historic squares, all laid out back in the 1730s. Each one has its own look, its own mood, and during Christmas, every square gets decorated differently. You could spend an entire evening just wandering square to square, and it never gets old. Then there's Christmas on the river. Boats of all kind, covered in lights, floating down the Savannah River. Carolers singing. People lined along River Street with hot chocolate, watching this glowing parade drift by. Savannah also happens to be one of the most haunted cities in America. So yes, there are candlelit Christmas ghost tours. Historic mansions, soft lights, eerie holiday stories from the 1800s. It works. Also, Savannah exists because of Christmas. In 1864, General Sherman spared the city and literally gifted it to Abraham Lincoln as a Christmas present. Number 2. Jekyll Island, Georgia. If you haven't seen Driftwood Beach, you haven't been to one of the most surreal places in America. A shoreline covered in sun-bleached twisted trees that look like giant sculptures, like nature made art and just left it there. But Jekyll Island isn't just about the beach. From the late 1800s to World War II, this was the most exclusive winter retreat in America. The ultra-rich built mansions, played golf, and made deals that shaped history. One secret meeting here even helped create the Federal Reserve. The wild part? Those mansions still stand. You can walk through them. At Christmas, they're decorated exactly like they were in the 1920s, which feels like stepping into another time. But here's what makes Jekyll special. Even though it was once hyper-exclusive, it's now a Georgia state park. Even during the holidays, the beaches are empty. Driftwood Beach at sunset with twisted trees and soft lights glowing in the historic district feels almost unreal. Jekyll Island proves Christmas magic doesn't need crowds or noise. Sometimes it's just you, the ocean, and a place that feels untouched. Number 1. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Chattanooga? Seriously? Seriously. And once you hear this, it'll make total sense. Chattanooga sits in a cozy valley, right at the edge of the Tennessee River Gorge, completely wrapped by mountains. In winter, those peaks get dusted with snow and look straight out of the Alps, while the city below stays mild and walkable. Snowy views, comfy weather. Now, let's talk Christmas. Up on Lookout Mountain is Rock City's enchanted Garden of Lights. 30 acres of gardens, cliffs, and rock formations covered in millions of lights. You wander across a swinging bridge to Lover's Leap, where you can literally see 7 states at once. Downtown, you've got the Chattanooga Christmas Market. Think European-style wooden chalets imported from Germany, bratwurst, schnitzel, roasted almonds, glühwein, handmade gifts, live music every night, and an ice rink right in the middle. Then there's Ruby Falls, a 145-foot waterfall inside a mountain. You take an elevator deep underground, walk through caves, and suddenly, there it is. At Christmas, it's lit up with music and lights. And tying it all together is the Walnut Street Bridge, glowing with lights at sunset, with Lookout Mountain in the background. That's why Chattanooga is number 1. It doesn't just do Christmas well, it does everything well. So, there you have it. 10 places in the South where Christmas becomes something you'll remember forever. Drop in the comments which town you're actually visiting. And if you want more videos that make you feel something, not just watch something, hit subscribe. See you at Christmas.